How is this possible? Nvidia is now up for a 12th consecutive week or 12 hollow candles. We also note that Reddit is up by over 30% in one day, up another 7.5 in after hours. Bitcoin is back above the 69,000 previous all-time high, and Reddit is largely moving higher because now there is options trading. However, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. What's really surprising is that NVDA is up today when AMD and Intel both got hit because of these new clampdowns that we're getting out of China. So if we now zoom back out to the weekend video that we did only on Saturday, we talked about how 11 hollow candles in a row means the expansion is continuing. And with fresh bad news, well, we're seeing more continued strength, at least for NVDA. We looked at the heat map on the day. Nvidia up, Micron up, and the other chips are down, but they're definitely up off their lows. If we look to the last 4 hours, they're actually stable. That's really encouraging, which means that we're seeing higher lows and higher highs, and we're likely going to keep going higher until something materially changes. Why? An object in motion tends to stay in motion until there is an unbalanced force, which as of right now, we are just not seeing. Remember, in the last 10 years, NVDA is the #1 returning stock in the S&P 500, up an incredible 20,692%, and a little bit more because today it was green. We also talked about the upside if it's 1982 and 1995, but there's one particular thing I'm looking for here, which is me just focusing to until there is an unbalanced force. Well, as of right now, the short sellers are back to their biggest reduction since January of 2024, which means they're starting to cover. They're starting to get a little bit scared. And this is good because this is strength for the bulls. There's no unbalanced force here. It means that the buyers who went short are now covering or exiting. Yes, that's actually quite good. So the gains are now going wider. They're going bigger, right? They're going bigly. And as we noted, I did not note so far. Thank you, Liz, for sharing this. DWAC is up by 35% today, and it's now going to be trading under the ticker DJT. What was really interesting is I saw the current president reshare something from his platform, and that was really interesting. So if I look here to DWAC, the stock is up by 35% of the day, over 50, and the bulls appear happy. So, man, if meme stocks are running, where is this market going to go? Short sellers are exiting, but fear and greed is actually down by 3 points. The market is a little bit red today, and we'll look at the charts in a minute here, but just before we go further, I'm going to ask you for a huge favor. If you could please consider smashing the thumbs up and subscribing to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. And thank you very much for your support over the years. I've really appreciated it. Looking to the heat map on the day, we noted there was some positive news out of Boeing that they're going to fire the CEO. He's going to step down at the end of the year. Well, you won't even know that. The stock faded. It was a gap and sell. What did close green today is Disney. Looks like they're going to win that proxy fight. We got, I don't know what CEG is. We're going to skip that one. Oh my God, Tesla's not red. Something is wrong in the world. Apple's red. There you go. But Tesla's not. Why? What's going on here? Something seems unusual. Yes. And as a reminder, there is a lot of economic data coming into the second half of the week. As a quick reminder of that, what we have here is, let's just go back down here. So looking to the key dates, this morning we had new home sales at 10 a.m. Those came out a little bit red. I don't think the market really cared about that, so we'll just skip it. But the next thing that comes out is going to be not tomorrow. It's going to be on Wednesday. We get oil inventories. That one doesn't really matter, though. This one really matters. On Thursday, we're going to have the close of the week and the close of the month. This is going to be very important in that continued strength pattern we talked about on the weekend. I'll leave you with an excellent video at the end, which goes into more detail. And then we're going to get GDP and initial jobless claims. It's a GDP revision on Thursday. But then really, the most important data point for the week comes out on Friday when we get that core PCE or the Fed's preferred inflation gauge. And then on Friday at 11:30, we're going to have Jerome Powell speak. I checked. This was at a G20 summit in San Fran. I'll double check it before Friday to ensure that is correct. But if we go back to the theme here, the theme was that, hey, we've been overbought for a while, right? S&P, QQQ, IWM, DIA, SOXL. But we largely need to reset the pattern, which means we need to see lower lows. And right now, we're just not seeing lower lows. We're seeing more risk on. So if we're going more risk on, and the S&P is only formed one lower low, and how many candles here? I'm actually really curious because I like putting the numbers in the video, and I'm like, okay, well, only one time in 22 weeks, right? 1 out of 22 weeks. Oh my God, this stonk is so strong. right? It's historically strong, like going back to 1982. Only 1 out of 22 weeks, we have a lower low since October. That is incredible, right? Only one time and 22 times. So how are we going to get a correction or a dip or any reversal if all we do is keep forming higher lows? We're not. We're going to keep going up. So as we set to close out this week, we currently have an inside bar here on the S&P. We noted that QQQ has shown more signs of weakness with a couple lower lows, and a lower low. But that just means that we're seeing net rotation. And this is why when we zoom out here to QQQ on the monthly chart, we want to be very, very, very mindful of these numbers. Notably, 441 on QQQ, that would be a monthly higher high over the previous candle high or another hollow candle over the previous top. I'm flipping them to the full candle so it's a little bit easier to see. If we go to SPY, the number is 511. We're well above that right now. I think we're going to hold it into Thursday. If we now look at things like RSP and BTC, this is where it's really interesting. We talked about BTC being a leading indicator and the potential for XLF, RSP, and BTC to be monthly double tops. What's a double top? Man, that means sell. The month is not closed out yet, but Bitcoin battled to get back above. Sorry, this is RSP. Let's go here to BTC first. My apologies. All right, I make mistakes too. So as of right now, we're in a monthly higher high over that previous candle high or another hollow candle, and we're currently over 69,000. That's our previous top here, 69,000 to the cent. So with this whippy action, right, getting really whippy, if we look here to our daily chart, well, we had a head and shoulders, and now we don't if we hold this area. So, man, it's getting choppy out there. That's why we want to wait until the close of the week, and Bitcoin does trade until the last session, which means even after Thursday, we close out. What I like here is increasing price and increasing volume, which means that if we close over 69,000, I would assume the rally continues. If we now look to something like an RSP, looks very similar to Bitcoin. It's currently over the previous top. The red line corresponds with the red number, 164.9. Hey, it's a bull market. We're in all-time highs. Now let's look at something like an XLF, which only recently joined the new all-time high club. And it's not currently there. So we can remove everything. We're going to go here to our horizontal ray. We're going to grab a magnet. We're going to go to the previous top. There we go. It's at 4170. So as of right now, again, it's not closed out for the month. We cannot confirm it. But this is what a double top would look like in hindsight, where we get a couple more candles, and then it doesn't just turn into a cup and handle, right? That would be a cup and handle. There's the handle part. What would happen is it turns into a double top, and we just sell off and go lower. And this will be important because if we're ever going to get a back test on the S&P back to its previous all-time high, well, we're going to have to see charts break down, not melt up, which is what we're seeing right now. So if S&P is going to back test this area, that's exactly what we're going to need. The weekend review is now queued up here on the left-hand side with a lot more thought, a lot more detail. And if not, maybe you want to subscribe to the channel and come hang out with me at 9:15 a.m. tomorrow. Thank you so much. I'll see you on the next one.